What up, Guardians? It's Dog Meat. I'm back again. Basically, I'm here. I'm going to break down the Hunter subclasses. I may divide them up into 15-minute increments and stuff, you know, or whatever, since most of my, Crucible videos and everything like that and tutorials have been pretty lengthy. So, I'm over here. I just got the first part of the first curse quest. So, I'm going to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Basically, talk about the Hunter a little bit and the subclasses and basically the Crucible builds for it.
Okay, go.
So, with that being said, go hit some patrol real quick, and actually let me grab some bounties over here while we're doing all that. And I'll start off with the Bladedancer and everything. You guys can kind of look at my videos and my advice for like the Crucible and all that, kind of like the kiddie pool for all the kindergartens and stuff. Because you need to learn to swim somewhere, before you go swimming with the sharks. So, feel free to hop on in and wear the floaties and just kind of, hang out and just take a little bit of advice and everything like that. Like I said, I mentioned before, I'm not a very big PvP guy. One of the things I started doing is twitching some of my matches and all that. The ones where I don't get too salty and everything, and where I do, halfway decent and stuff. So, anyways, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the Bladedancer. And I'm going to talk about some of the exotics I wear for that and everything like that. One of the things I have to do for this first curse quest, and I forgot, I was supposed to go buy primary ammo. Awesome. So, anyways, that's my bad. I'll probably go back and grab that later on and everything like that. But we're going to piss about in the Cosmodrome and everything, and I'll talk about a little bit about the build and everything itself. So, as you know, like Iron Banner's around and everything, and I'll probably do that a little bit later just to finish ranking up. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Bladedancer. And the reason why I'm talking about the Bladedancer is, like I said, this is geared more towards people that aren't really that good at Crucible or whatever, and that are looking to get in it. So, this one is a really, really easy like subclass to kind of navigate. One of the things about the Hunters is their supers, are more mobile than the others. Like the Warlock, for example, you got Nova Bomb. You throw your Nova Bomb and that's it. It's done. And then same thing with like the Fist of Panic. And of course the Defenders, that's not really too mobile. You're just, unless you're holding down a point or a zone or whatever. I haven't tried the Sunbreaker out yet. I've been grinding out the Hunter as much as I can and everything like that. So this is the Bladedancer tree and everything, and this is a really easy subclass to navigate. This is one of the things that kind of helped me get my KD up and stuff when I first started doing the Crucible. And as you guys know, when you start fresh with a character, they give you just the one class, and we'll talk about the Gunslinger in a little bit. But I'm going to go, like I said, I'm going to try and break this up. I'll probably break it up maybe by individual subclasses and stuff. It'll be a long Twitch, but I'm going to put the increments on my YouTube channel and stuff. All right, so most people know by now, with your tree, usually the first one's your grenades, the second one's your jumps, and then these are your different abilities and everything like that you're going to have. So for Bladedancer, when I first started off and everything, one of the things I found helpful and useful and everything, and we'll go back to the tree and I'll equip it and show you guys, was using the Stalker, portion of it for the invisibility and everything like that. I use the blink. I like the blink. And I use the arc bolt grenades. The reason why I use the arc bolt grenades is they chain out a little more. These spike grenades, nobody's not really going to fall for that in the Crucible. Flux grenades, if you're good at aiming and stuff and you could stick it to people, then that might be your bag. but it's not mine. I'm not good. I'm not good with those fusion grenades that the warlocks have either. So one of the things I do is Bladedancer and everything's like, you know, changed. Everything's changed since when I first started playing Destiny as far as like the Crucible goes. You know, people are a little more savvy to the subclasses, a little more savvy to the supers, and you know, it makes it kind of difficult to actually use it effectively. So there's a lot of people that like using, you know, Bladedancer, and they like doing, you know, either. I don't see very many people use the Showstopper. I first started using this when I did it, and this was the right trigger. And a lot of people didn't know this. A lot of my friends I played with and everything like that. But when you activate Bladedancer, they were just using the right trigger. If you actually use the right bumper, it automatically targets opponents and stuff like that. And you guys could take a look at, you know, some of the montages and clips I have on my YouTube and all that to see exactly how Bladedancer works. But when you use that right bumper, you're going in there, you know, and you're basically slicing, dicing everybody up. Showstopper just kind of does this whirlwind thing, and whoever's around, it takes them out. The next one's the Razor Edge. You have to actually aim this at somebody and hit the right trigger and all that. And I don't know about you guys, but my eye-hand coordination is so-so. It's not as good as like some of these other players. I wish it was. But, you know, in the heat of the moment and everything like that, I'm not, you know, too good as far as like aiming and stuff down. In fact, you guys could probably see a lot of my gameplay and stuff and see that I'm like kind of all over the place. Well, when Crota's End came out and everything like that, they did the Vanish. And this is what I basically use for Crucible and everything, because, you know, and when you get in there, you learn to listen for audio cues, and you learn that, you know, somebody's activating their supers. So, you know, the Bladedancer, when you activate it, it makes a distinct kind of audio cue, and anybody who's around, you know, they'll either run the other way or they'll do something else. So I talked before in previous videos about popping it off to the side. I also talk about, you know, being able to use it and maximize as much as you can. So I currently right now use Vanish and everything. So basically when I activate it, you know, I'll do the Vanish real quick and then go in there and slice and dice. Talking about the melees and the blink strikes and everything like that is there's a few people like using the backstab. Backstab's okay. I don't find it as effective as what I currently use, which is Escape Artist. And there's a lot of my videos that I have that you guys can actually take a look at it and see where, you know, I've actually meleeed somebody, disappear on them and everything, and I'm, you know, it disorients them, and it actually like turns out a lot better. And then Fast Twitch, I never really used this or had any use for it. The main thing is with these ones right here, I pay attention to my armor stats, my agility, and my recovery. Fleet-footed, I don't really use that one. To be honest, the best one, when I first started using Bladedancer, I used Shadowjack and I used Stalker and all of that. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate that real quick. Now this is for you guys, and this is easy when you're like brand new to like, you know, the Crucible and stuff, and you're thinking about doing this. All right, so we got the super up, so that's good, and I'll show that in a little bit. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show the Shadowjack and the Stalker abilities and everything like that. And the reason why, you know, this is good when you're first starting off, like let's say, you know, you're going in and you're playing a match or whatever, you know, and you don't know your way around the map that well. This is good because you could actually go invisible and stuff. And you could actually snipe and do whatever you have to do, you know, as far as getting in there and being able to get some kills and stuff like that. In fact, I think I got, when I first started using Bladedancer a lot, I used this a lot in the Crucible and everything. And it kind of helped me like navigate and all that. But as I progressed and as I started getting better, I got away from that. Because there's better attributes to use, and I'll show you those in a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate a little bit as far as like the Bladedancer like we were talking about. So like right here, I'm going to go ahead and activate Bladedancer. So when I go in here, as you see, when I hit this right bumper, I'm automatically like targeting like everything. And this is that Vanish I talk about. This is going to be right trigger, and it just helps you like disappear. And this is coming very handy during the Crota raid. Comes in handy during Trials of Osiris, because you could actually use it to, you know, disappear and get your buddies, you know, revive them and everything like that. Because as you can see, it lasts like a little bit longer and stuff. You know, the Bladedancer, is also good, like, you know, for the heavy round on the trials if you want to take some guys out. The only problem with it is you can see it's very up close and personal. So if somebody's, you know, a little more better than you at the crucible and stuff, then you know, they're gonna wreck you pretty much. So, and then I'll show you escape artist. There's escape artist right there. See, I'm just invisible and this dude don't even like know what's going on. Little teabag action for him. So, but it comes in handy, and I definitely recommend if you're on a hunter and everything like that, and you're not that good at Crucible, you know, I definitely recommend using Bladedancer, because it's one of those things that it will help keep your KD up, and it, you know, because when usually I'm behind in a match or whatever, and I'm running Bladedancer, I get a good super in there, man, and it gets me back in the game and everything, and it kind of helps with like the confidence and everything like that. I'm gonna go ahead and show the arc bolts. You know, this guy's like killing everything. So and these ones, like Bungie nerfed, they used to be like really effective. When like I said before, when you first joined the Crucible, doing control, you know, as you can see, it stretches across. But Bungie nerfed the hell out of these. So if you're doing Crucible now, what I definitely recommend is when you go into engagement, like let's say you you know, get a guy's shields down and everything, and he goes to hide behind cover, toss a freaking arc bolt that way, and it will it extends out. You saw how it extended out and got those enemies. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna go over some of the exotics that I use and everything as far as like with concerning Bladedancer. And then after that, I'm going to go into Gunslinger and stuff. So, like I said, when I put this on my YouTube, I'll make it one big long Twitch feed, but I'm going to try and break it up because I notice a lot of people's, you know, attention spans. They ain't got time to, like, you know, watch some half-hour video and all this other crap on advice. So, all right, we'll go into the exotics. One of my favorite exotics to use, and this is like really good, and this came in really handy during the Crota raid and all that. You know, even if I was running Gunslinger and all, I would use this one. This is basically Mask of the Third Man, and basically what this is going to do is it's going to make it so that that super ability, and we'll hang out till the super gets up a little bit. I'll go ahead and go into the attributes on it, and basically it makes it so that you're not using as much as your super ability as you know you would normally. And believe me, this is pretty good and all that. And I'll pair this up with like Hungering Blade, and I'll show you like Hungering Blade in, you know, a little bit. But one of the main things for the Crota raid and everything, or any raid at that, especially on the hard where there's no, you know, revives or health regeneration, is this infusion perk. If you can find a helmet with infusion, that will help out a lot. And it even helps out in the Crucible as well, you know, because you as you can read it, you pick up an orb of light and everything like that, and it basically restores your health. So this was really good, and they did like a year 2 on this, so if you could pick this up and Zur sells it, definitely get it. I'm not going to mess around with the Twist of Fate on it because it's got a lot of the stuff that I've, you know, that I'm looking for. If I get a second one, I'm going to mess around with that and see if maybe I could get some better perks. My main thing is I don't want to lose this one, you know, and it's really good. One of the other exotics I'm going to show you as far as Bladedancer goes is the Lucky Raspberry. And I don't think they did like a year 2 version of this. I wish they would have. This thing's like awesome. Basically, as you can see, you basically are going to spawn with grenade energy already and everything. And it chains that grenade out further. And one of the things they used to do is this one has a high intellect on it. So as you get grenade kills and everything with it, it increases your intellect, which means you have your Bladedancer more and stuff. So I'll show you like what I currently use like right now. Right now, I use the quick draw. Quick draw ability is like awesome, and I use the Hungering Blade. This Encore and all that, that's fine, but like if you're going in there and you're slicing and dicing dudes, the one thing about Bladedancer and just the hunter like subclasses in general is you're not invincible. You know, people can go in there and they can still shoot you and wreck you. And I talked in one video before, like usually when I activate it, like you'll see me sit here and strafe like this because it doesn't make me, it makes me a harder target. Now with Hungering Blade, what it does is as you take damage and you start killing people, it brings your health back up. So that's what makes it effective, and it's good for like, you know, going in and getting, you know, the enemy team off of heavy and everything like that. Quick draw, this is quick draw. Basically, you're readying your weapons a lot quicker, you know. And this is great for like sniping. I use this for like when I'm sniping and all that. For some reason, my warlock chick is a better sniper than my hunter. You know, I know it sounds kind of corny, but the characters definitely, in my opinion, have their own characters, if you will, no pun intended, and their own feel and everything to them. As far as like when I'm actually playing on them, I'm getting better with the warlock and all that. I love the hunter. I'm just kind of disappointed that I'm not as, you know, good or consistent at it as I was. So, anyways, real quick. I'm going to go ahead and break this back down real quick, and then we'll move on to Gunslinger, and I'll show you guys that as well. So when you're going in the Crucible, like I said before, the RB is going to give you that one where it basically targets people and slice and dices. Your different grenades, you can pick and choose, and this is like one of the things you guys can like look at and play around with and everything like that. But like I said, I normally come out here and horse around on patrol. You know, usually if I'm checking out a weapon that I haven't used in the Crucible before, because, you know, it'll give you an idea of how it feels, the kick and everything like that, and like what the downfalls are and everything. So, but you know, same thing. You come out here and test the supers out and all that. So let me go back over here so no enemies attack me while I'm basically breaking this down, and then, you know, I'll move on from Gunslinger. And like I said, I'm going to break the YouTube videos up. So if you know, feel free to go ahead and watch a Gunslinger one like after I'm done with this one and all that, and then I'll move on to Night Stalker. All right, I like the arc bolts. It chains I can't speak right now. It chains further and actually gets more enemies. This is like perfect for control when you got a bunch of guys like trying to control a point. Like I said, Bungie nerfed them a little bit, so my suggestion is basically weaken the enemy a little bit, toss one of these in there, and it'll reach out and get them. Like I said, I enjoy the blink. Most people like the jump and all this, but you know, the blink, it helps me, like it's more evasive, and as far as like getting in and out of there. So as you guys can guess, I probably like love the shade step on Night Stalker as well, which I do. And then of course I use Vanish. These other ones, the Razor's Edge, you need to be aiming at the person, and you basically hit the trigger, and it's going to send like a wave towards them. Showstopper, if you're in the middle of a bunch of guys, and you hit the right trigger, basically does this whirlwind, kind of like a tornado, and it takes dudes out. But since you get most of the stuff that you're going to get from your Blade Dancers when you're actually hitting the RB button, and usually that you jump right in the middle of a bunch of guys and you're hitting that. And if you're doing Hungering Blade, like I'll show later on in a tree, then you're going to be wrecking people, trust me. And like I said, this subclass is awesome for like when you're getting behind in the Crucible. This will probably, get you on top and get you there. Backstab, if you're hitting people from behind, which is great, but I personally use Escape Artist because, like I said, it disorients people. And then, of course, a fast twitch I've never used that much. I mean, if you guys are good at Blink Strike and all that, by all means, but there's better perks, like I said, to use it. Like these two are actually better. And then as far as these, just as far as like what you want, armor, agility, and all that, I try and keep it middle of the road. Fleet-footed, okay. If you're a shotgun slider, this will probably be good for you. I prefer quick draw. Like I said, usually one of the things I got away from is shotguns, and I try and use snipers more, and I really try and work on that. And then Shadowjack. When I first started using Bladedancer, use Shadowjack a lot. That way I can get invisible and get there and get on top of my enemy before they knew it. And here we go. Same thing with the attributes again. It depends. If you're doing the Crota's End Raid, you might want the recovery and agility more and all that. And like I said, that's where I kind of picked up the Vanish and everything from SC Slayer Rage, or the guy who's known as the Legend himself, who soloed it and stuff. Encore, like I said, if you have Mask of the Third Man, you really don't need this. The best perk, in my opinion, is going to be your Hungering Blade. And this does come in handy because, like, you're not invincible. You're not, you activate your super. And like I said before, when I do the strafing and stuff, I've taken out Bladedancers running straight at me, just with either a sniper or just a regular like hand cannon or whatever. So you're not invincible or anything like that. Hunger and Blade's like probably the best deal. As far as this goes, like Stalker, when you crouch briefly, you get your invisibility. So that's it for the Bladedancer. And this dog meat, I'm going to go ahead and sign off as far as like the Bladedancer video. And like I said, I'm going to do a long Twitch feed for go over Gunslinger next. I'll see you guys later.